students. Welcome back in this second video on electrical installation design. Myself Praful Madhukar Tarvatkar, and we will discuss about various basic terms related to electrical installation design. These terms are basically will be helpful in designing and calculating the installation related work. Let us begin with this video lecture will highlight electrical load assessment. Electrical load assessment is depending upon certain factors, terms and calculations. In this topic, we are going to focus upon introduction, types of loads, various load categories and the terms or factors related to electrical load. As we all know, electrical power system is very diversified topic. Electrical load in system is one which consumes electrical power. Different functions are being performed by electrical systems. Electrical loads convert electrical energy into different other forms of energy such as heat, light or mechanical energy. Various electrical loads have different behavioral characteristics. The electrical loads are classified into three basic types: resistive load, inductive load and capacitive load. Resistive load consumes active power, whereas inductive and capacitive load consumes reactive powers. These both active and reactive powers contributes total apparent power being consumed by the electrical loads. Electrical loads are categorized according to their place of application. They are basically residential or domestic load, commercial loads, industrial loads, agricultural loads, traction load, municipal loads, and which are not coming under these categories are termed to be as other loads. Now let us see each category in detail. Domestic or residential loads mainly includes domestic fans, lights and other such applications. They have lesser power consumption capacity. Commercial loads include electrical loads of commercial establishments like shops, malls, marketplaces, restaurants, etc. Here, the requirement of load is more as compared to residential loads and hence consumes more electrical power. Now comes the industrial load. Industrial loads are again classified according to their power uses. Like less than 5 kW power load is termed to be cottage industry. The industry which consumes power in between the range of 5 to 25 kilowatt, they are called as small scale industries. Industries with a power consumption from 25 to 100 kilowatt, they are termed to be medium scale industries. 100 to 500 kilowatt power consumption load comes to large scale industries, and heavy industries are those industries which consumes more than 500 kilowatt electrical load. Municipal loads are loads related to street lights, traffic lights, pumping system required for water supply. They are generally constant loads. Agricultural loads are loads of electrical motor pumps which are required for irrigation purpose. Apart from above mentioned loads, rest are coming under other load categories like traction load and other government loads, etc. Now let us discuss about various important factors connected to load. The very first one is connected load. The connected load is defined as the sum of continuous rating of all the equipments connected to electrical supply system. For an example, suppose you have your home with 4 tube lights of 40 watts each and 3 fans of 60 watt each. So your total connected load for your installation will be 4 into 40 watts plus 3 into 60 watt, that is 160 plus 180 comes to 320 watts. Maximum demand. It is the greatest demand of electrical power system during a given period of time. This maximum demand on a power station may vary from time to time. While designing electrical power system, it should be capable enough to meet this maximum demand. Demand factor. Demand factor is defined as the ratio of maximum demand to the connected load. It is usually less than 1, and demand factor is important in determining the capacity of various equipments being used in the electrical power system. Load factor. The ratio of average load to maximum demand during a given period of time is known as a load factor. The load factor could be a daily load factor, monthly load factor, and annual load factor. This load factor determines the cost of per unit generation. Higher is the load factor, lesser will be the cost of per unit generation. Diversity factor. The ratio of sum of individual maximum demand to the simultaneous maximum demand on the power station is known as diversity factor. Diversity factor is always greater than 1. Greater the diversity factor, lesser is the cost of per unit generation of electrical energy. Demand factor and diversity factor, they are basically related to electrical load, and use of demand and diversity factor is very important in design of an electrical installation. But the difference is that demand factor is concerned with an individual load, whereas diversity factor is concerned with a group of load. So that is why it is known as a diversity factor. Then power factor. It is basically a ratio of real power to the apparent power. Now power factor is very important in electrical power system, since the complete power consumption depends on the value of this power factor. Lagging the power factor, more amount of electrical power being consumed by the electrical loads, and vice versa. The ratio of P by S, that is real power to apparent power, is also called as power factor. Power factor is also given by the ratio of resistance to impedance, that is R by Z. Here you can see the power triangles. These power triangles are really important in doing the power factor correction. By knowing the value of active power, reactive power, we can easily assess the apparent power if we know this angle, which is known as phi. The cos of this angle is nothing but a power factor. So just remember these basic terms related to electrical load for further designing electrical installation. Hence, we come to a conclusion that in this particular video lecture, we have highlighted various types, categories, and related factors of electrical loads. It is really important to understand these basic terms before we actually proceed further for the course content. These basic terms are useful in designing of an electrical installation. So just understand these basic terms and keep your notes handy reference for the further study. Thank you very much and happy learning.